Baylor yesterday picked up Kendrick Simpkins, a heck of a player, a lot of great stats, disruptive player from Western Kentucky. He'll be on campus at Baylor in the middle of the month, and Kendrick Simpkins, joins us now on 365 Sports. Kendrick, thanks for your time. If you were to check off a couple of 2 or 3 boxes of why Baylor, you obviously were in demand, but why Baylor, what would some of those be that you said, nope, that's what I want, that's what I want, that's what I want?
Just when I got there, I just felt that at home, it was just like a family-like atmosphere, just the coaches, just the players, just the environment. It just felt family-like. And then just Coach Aranda, just the genius he is with his background with the defenses and how intelligent guy like Coach Polish. It was just a great opportunity. And then just lastly, just the fit, I've kind of been in the same defense, just different terminology. So that wasn't a problem for me. And just seeing everything just felt right just while I was there.
The star position that you'll play at Baylor, you're asked to do a lot. It seems like that's what you kind of do is, it's getting in the backfield or it's in coverage. What do you feel like is your best quality when it comes to being the star position? Is it that flexibility of being able to kind of do all those things that you're asked?
Yes, correct. I would say just my best is just doing everything. I know that's kind of like broad, but I think it is. I'm at my best just when I'm kind of just mixing it up, kind of just when I'm on fire, I'm just kind of doing everything, making an impact in every way.
Kendrick, what were your expectations? Did you know much about Baylor? Did you know much about Texas? Kind of where was your head with all of that? And what were your, impressions as you were gathering information along the way?
To be honest, I knew about Coach Aranda, but I didn't know too much about Baylor or Waco, Texas. I know about Texas, but of course I had to do some research there. But Coach Aranda, with him being at LSU for the many years, of course I knew who he was. So just once I got the offer and we had conversation, I kind of already knew I was going to give those guys a visit, regardless, just because of Coach Aranda.
When you came out of high school and ended up at Western Kentucky, I would think that probably you and hey, by the way, the Hilltoppers have a nice history and tradition in college football, but I'm sure that there was a dream to maybe one day play at a Power 5 school, and maybe there wasn't, but I'm asking you, is that something that was always out there for you to scratch that itch, and that's why also the opportunity at Baylor?
Coming out of high school, I did have a couple of Power 5 offers, so it was kind of like big for me, but I had the opportunity at Western Kentucky, and it's been great. So over those years, I kind of didn't care. Even through this process, I didn't just put off any teams that weren't P5. I was open to everyone. It was about the fit and just situation. So Power 5, I would say I went, of course, like high school wise, I was crazy on it, but just coming being older now, it was more so just a perfect fit. Just about more so those things, not the Power 5 level more so.
So now that you're committed, do you start going and watching film of other guys to kind of learn things? Like Jaylen Petry played your position at Baylor. He's in the NFL now and doing really well. How do you kind of prepare for it before you hit the ground?
When I was on my visit, that's actually the only guy like I watched. They made some comparisons to Jaylen Petry. They plan using me the same way. So yeah, I will watch him and just trying to get the defense whole as a knowledge, just the terminology and those things of a nature. Just trying to get the terminology and then kind of watching guys like him and then seeing how everything go.
Kendrick, where did your love for football start? Where did that come from?
My love for football, I would say just growing up, my uncles and just cousins and everyone just was playing football. So I kind of just grew up around football, everyone playing football. So that's just how that started. And I just ended up loving it and just taking off with it.
Did Coach Aranda, Coach Polish, and others on the defensive side of the ball, when we talk about the star position, and you brought that up, Jaylen Petry was an All-American. He's now doing well at the Texans. They have been looking for a replacement for him, but you don't replace Jaylen Petry. He's that kind of good player. Was that in the conversation, the disruptive? You had 11 tackles for losses, 7.5 sacks. I watched video of you, 4 caused fumbles on what you looked like quarterback strip sacks. Was that something that was like hammered into you of what you can do and what they need?
Yes, most definitely. The same way that, like I said, I know the stats are a little bit different and on different levels, but just looking at his years and his stats, it kind of like just add up, and just some of the plays he's made is kind of like similar plays. So they did definitely. Of course, that's big, but of course I'm gonna come in. I know what they're saying, the role that they need and the impact that they need, but I'm gonna be every bit of Kendrick Simpkins. Of course I'm a model Jaylen Petry, but yeah, that's the role they want to be. But I'm gonna be every bit of me, and I just want to come in and gain everyone's trust and get started.
Kendrick, you're from Montgomery, Alabama. Alabama has very famous barbecue. You're in Texas now that also has very famous barbecue. Will you have like a taste off? What will you do?
Yeah. I think I might have to do that. I might have to get some spots recommended to me in Texas and have to try that out.
Well, they got plenty of options for you, and a lot of them are sponsors of Baylor Athletics, so you'll have plenty of options, including one of those that we have in Rudy's Barbecue. Now, your mother, I talked to Adonica, and she said she's still to this day, and this is what moms do, my little baby. When she says that to you, do you light up? What's that mean to you?
I'm a mama's boy. My mom is everything to me, So she's very important to me. She's always been in my corner. And, of course, that's my mom, but just even with football, even with this process, in even high school, she kind of just gave me the football part and, she the academic part and the other part. She put trust in me because with the football part and, she handled all the academics and make sure I was big on that too. So, that she's everything to me.
Well, that's that military that she's a part of the Air Force, a veteran of the U.S. Air Force, correct? How much of that, even though you were like 2 when she was off overseas in some of those, I guess, wars in the Middle East, how much do you think of that has rubbed off on you?
I think it probably rubbed off on me a lot, just the mentality I have and just the upbringing that I came up with.
All right. When your mother was traveling because of her career and you needed to get to practice, how long of a walk was there? And you did this many times. I was told this story. How long of a walk to and from high school for you was it when you did not have a ride?
Yeah. So I don't know how to describe it. So I actually, it was summer workouts and I didn't have a ride. I didn't have no way people nowhere to stay near me. So I walked all the way from my neighborhood all the way to my school that's on the other side of town. So probably walking distance, was probably like 45 minutes, 50 minutes walk. And that's walking to practice in the hot sun, probably like 80-degree weather. Then go work out and walk back at night or whenever the later afternoon.
There's a lot of young men or even people that would have found a reason not to go. Was that ever even on your mind?
I would say someday. It was in my mind. Of course, some days, but like you said, I mean, it was just determination. I wasn't gonna make a reason or a way, I knew I probably wouldn't have to do it too much longer. I did end up doing it for a while, but I knew it wouldn't. I was just telling myself I knew it wouldn't have to be too much longer, and it'll all pay off.
All right, what do you want to do? Obviously, about to continue your college career at Baylor, and then the dream of playing at the next level. But let's look down the road, whenever that might be. What does Kendrick Simpkins want to do for a career, life after athletics and sports?
I think I want to continue my career in the sports field, whether that's coaching or something of that nature. I think I want to stay in the sports area.
When you committed to Coach Aranda, Matthew Pallage, Baylor University, what was the reaction? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, it was that dinner, it was at breakfast Sunday morning, it kind of I kind of stepped to the side and told Coach Aranda first. He was excited, lit up. And then once I told everybody and made that big announcement, and everybody was, just full of hugs, full of shouts.
How would you describe Dave Aranda?
I would say he's a smart guy. I like the way he's carried himself. You can tell he's all about business. A very smart guy, good guy. He's a people person. He's a guy that just can. He's a guy to love.
But I want to go back to something you said, and then we appreciate your time, Kendrick, and congratulations on your decision, whatever it would have been. You mentioned you didn't know much about Baylor, but you knew a lot about Dave Aranda. Had he not been the head coach at Baylor, would Baylor have been on your radar at all?
To be honest, I put it at a high standard because I got the offer. Coach Aranda was the head coach. So if he wasn't the head coach, I maybe wouldn't have as higher interest, but I definitely still would have been interested because a guy like Coach Pollard still was on staff, who's also a great defensive mind and upcoming coach.
Enjoy the rest of your day and also the rest of the time you have until you come to Baylor. Get on campus. Kendrick, great to have you. Baylor fans are excited for what you can bring to the defense, and I'm sure the coaching staff is as well. We appreciate your time, and thanks for being a part of the show.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to get to work.
Yes, sir. Kendrick Simpkins from Western Kentucky, now Baylor. It says safety. It's that star position that kind of comes from different directions, and I don't know